Hello everyone, my name is Karen Ellis and I am here at the Art House Studio in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada, and I'm here to show a quick video on how I use the Brother ScanNCut machine to cut out a quilt pattern for paper crafting, specifically making this 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 card. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is select our quilt pattern. Now we're going to do that, we're going to select pattern and scroll down to the quilt patterns that are here on the second page. Now, I happen to know the one I was looking at was in this section, and it's right there. So it is pre-programmed in here to be an 8 by 8 size. And I know that's hard to see on the screen, but it is 8 by 8. And I want to do it to the size of my current card. And my card is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I am going to press the negative button here. They are kind of joined. Everything in here is joined, so it is going to go down together, both the height and the width. And I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to do it the exact 5 1/4, 5.25. So when this cuts out, it is going to perfectly fit my square card back. Okay? And I'm going to select OK. So what comes up next is all of the different shapes that I need to use. There are two different colors here. There is a light red and a dark red, representing the two different colors of cardstock that I am going to use, or fabric, or whatever you choose. I am doing this, of course, on cardstock with some scrapbook paper from 7 Dot Studio, but I'm going to need two different colors. So that's what it's saying to me. I am going to select the first one, A, in the light color, and press OK. And it is telling me that I need 2 of these. All right, I know that there's a number right here. It's saying I need 2. It also has, and if you look closely, I know this is a really small image, but if you look closely, it has a seam allowance on there. There's an icon. It's located right here on the left-hand side of the screen, and it has been selected. So it is giving me a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So for you quilters out there, you could draw your seam allowance in with this feature. But because I'm just cutting this out in paper and I'm going to paper pieces together, I don't require it. So I'm going to select it again so that it's been taken off. And I don't know if you saw that immediately. You see it got bigger? Now it's smaller. So this is the actual cut line. And it does say I need 2. So I am going to go in and I am going to set it. And there they are right up here, ready to go. Okay? I am going to go back in. So I'm going to press Add. And I am going to press the second A with a 1 tick, okay? And press OK. It says I need 2 of those. I'm going to deselect. Again, I'm deselecting the seam allowance. And I'm going to press Set. Looks good. They're right along the side there. Okay? I am going to press OK. Sorry, I'm going to press Add. And I'm going to go in and add B. So B is now selected, okay, and I need 4 of them. I'm going to deselect again the seam allowance and press Set. Now, I happen to know that I'm going to be putting a 6 by 12 inch piece of paper on the one side and a 6 by 12 inch paper on the other side. I'll show you this and right now so that you can see what I mean. I'm going to use the scan feature. Okay, so I have 2 6 by 12 sheets of paper here. There's a blue-green one and a light-colored, multicolored piece. Both are from the 9th Wave collection from 7 Dot Studio. And I'm going to be using these to cut out my 2 different colors of shapes from my quilt pattern. So the dark red pieces I'm going to cut out of this side, and the light red pieces in my pattern I'm going to cut out on this side. So I'm going to load it into my machine now, and to load it again you put your mat in. And what I tend to do, and I tell my people who come in here, I tend to put my left corner in first and then just kind of straighten it in the right side and then press the load button. And we're all set. So I am now going to go, and I will show you as we get closer to it again, but I'm going to press the scan button and then start. And this is scanning my 2 pages. And this is important because I'll be able to place my pieces that I have programmed into the machine already on the side that I need it to cut out, so I cut out the right color. Okay, so here's the screen image again, and you can see the darker color, the blue-green color is on my left-hand side, and the lighter color of my 6x12 cardstock is on the right. And the triangles here that I have already placed are along the cut line. So I know that I need to change this, right, because I want all of these to be cut from the lighter cardstock. So I am just going to move these over one by one, so that they will be cut from the proper side. So I'm just going to move a little space over here. And this way I can make sure, because of the scan, I am able to make sure that this is all on my paper, just in case my paper isn't quite in the right spot. So there we are. So they've all been moved over, and I can continue to add. So I'm going to press the Add button, and I am going to section C and press OK. I only need one of these. I am going to deselect the seam allowance and press Set. And again, I'm moving this down because this is also from that light red color page. Make sense? Yay! All right. So now I'm going to continue and add my dark red pieces, my 3 pieces here, D, E, and E with a little nick there, E2. And I am going to put those on the dark side of my paper. And again, these are representative of the dark red pieces in my quilt pattern. So I'll select D, OK, remove the seam allowance. It says I require 4, and I am going to set them. And it automatically moved it to my paper. Okay? And it's already on the right side, so I can go back and I can add. E, OK. Take away the seam allowance. It says I need 2. And set it. And look at that, they're in there. I am going to move this one a little bit closer, though, because it was on the line of the 2 pieces of paper, and I want to make sure it cuts on the right one. So there you go. And add. I'm going to add my final piece. Deselect the seam allowance. Set. And there they are. I'm just going to move them over here. 1, 2. Okay. Looks good. All right, so now it is time to cut them. I am going to press OK, and I'm not drawing them because I don't need the seam allowance. I am going to cut them, so I'm going to select Cut, and then when I'm ready, I will push the play pause button. And here in Canada, we have play pause. Okay, so we're going to push the play button. So while this is cutting, I want to make sure that you understand that I have put the paper down, but I have made sure it's really stuck to the mast. And I do this by taking the spatula that comes with the ScanNCut and just rubbed it over top just to make sure there's no air bubbles. I want to get a clear line here. I've also pre-tested the blade. This blade is on number 3. But I have pre-tested it before, and you should always test your paper or your fabric before you cut, just so that you have a successful go every time out. Here we are. Okay, so I am finished with this here, so I am going to say finish cutting, and I'm going to remove it from the machine, and we're going to take the paper off. See what we got. See, look. Oop, I think I'm going to need my spatula to make sure I get all the pieces here. There we go. Awesome. And then we have some more up here. Great. All right, so what I did is I took all the pieces that the ScanNCut cut for me, and I inked my edges with the Vintage Photo Distress Ink from Ranger using the Distress tool. And just because I like to have the finished edges, I like to do that with all my paper crafts. And then I took it and I ran it through my Xyron machine. Now Xyron is a sticker maker, so it makes gluing and adhering things so much easier. All it is on a piece of paper, pulls through, and then when you tear it off, it's got the sticky already on it. So I am going to then just assemble my piece. Found it easier to put the corners on first, and then these pieces here that they all fit together. The beauty of the ScanNCut is that all the pieces will fit. They are cut perfectly, so you don't have to worry, which is really, really cool. Okay, so now I've got these big squares. Look at that. And then the final piece is going to go right in there. Ta-da! So I did not put some sticky on the back of this because I happen to know that I'm going to do some stamping on it, and I will make something really special with that centerpiece. But take a peek, quick and easy, quilted. It almost looks like stained glass. Now if I was to take my Viva pen, my Viva Decor pearl pen or a paper pen, and outline my edges, they can look like a true stained glass appearance because it would look like it had the lead in there, but it's all good. Intricate cutting that you didn't have to cut. Thank you, ScanNCut. Anyway, I hope that helped everybody and you got a good idea, and I hope you play with your ScanNCut and all of those fantastic patterns that you'll find in the machine. Have a creative day, everyone.